All right, Shalom, Shalom. I'm Brother Sakaya.
Like,
We're coming from the GMS Capellan Church. And before we get started with this lesson, we want to give our honor and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, and peace, love, and salutations to your hopeful lesson pushing the truth, okay? And as you can see, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we're back at it with another lesson. Right here is our part 2 of the Hebrew, okay? So part 2, as you can see right here, the brother beautifully, put down. And, you got anything you want to...
Yeah, so, of course, we have the part 1 done. I believe it was from, what was it? I believe it was the first 8 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. And this video is dealing with the second set of 8 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. All right? Of course, as the brothers already given glory to, but we can always give a tad bit more. All right, now this is brought to you through the power of Yahweh and Yahushua. All right, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, and Yahushua being the name of the only begotten Son. All right, okay, the King of Israel. All right, so we can jump right into it. So as you can see here, we have both the, before that, I wanted to get the prologue of Sirach to show you what the importance behind going into the Hebrew to get proper edification concerning the scriptures, the prophecies, and the prophets. So before that, let's jump into this prologue. All right, so this is the prologue of Sirach, otherwise known as Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha book, which is a part of the original Bible. So it says, "Wherefore let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words, which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own languages." All right? So understanding that in order to get the proper edification concerning the Bible, you have to go into the languages in which they were written in. All right? So, primarily in Hebrew, but also in Greek. You also have to be familiar with the Latin, okay, and the history of the different translations as well, depending on what translated book that you're reading. All right, so we can jump right into it. You can list them all out, and then we'll break it down.
All right, right here in the Paleo Hebrew, okay, you have Ta. All right, it's a big, circle with an X, okay. You have Ta. All right, and it's down here it's Tat. All right, meaning clay or to store. All right, and as you can see, the brother put the connector marks right here, which is Ta, but if you put it together, it's Tat. Okay, so Ta. All right.
Let's run through them all first, just so they get familiarized, and then we'll break.
All right, bet. So you have Ta, you have Ya, you have Ka. Then right here you have La. Okay. Down here you have Ma. Then you have Na. Then you have Sa. Then you have I. Okay. Right. Now we want to give you the breakdown. I know the brother put the characters. Also, he had the Syrian at the bottom, right. Okay, along with, the connector marks and things of that nature. Now, I'm going to let you get that part.
Right, all right, Wada. Now I wanted to touch up on them individually because, dealing with the Paleo Hebrew, all right, you have correlations with life, may I say, or you have correlation with symbolism in your everyday life. Which is the origin behind certain of these Paleo Hebrew characters. All right, so dealing with the Paleo of Ta, all right, you have Ta as the brother that he's already listed out. which means clay or to store, which this is supposed to represent, if I'm not mistaken, a basket. All right, or something of a vessel of storage, if I'm not mistaken. And this is it in the Assyrian form. All right. You also have Yah. All right. Now Yah comes from what? All right. It means what? Hand or arm, and that's what, as you can see, that's the figure of an arm, if that makes sense, and that's the origin of Yah. All right, of that figure Yah. All right. Now you have it here in the Paleo. This is the format for Yah in the Paleo. All right. Now the next word is going to be a little, or the next symbol or character is going to be a little different, as you can see here in the Assyrian, or excuse me, both in the well. First, let's touch up on the Paleo. Now it's different formats depending on what type of Hebrew that you're looking at. You're going to have different formats how to say certain symbols, or how certain symbols are written. So, for instance, a lot of people, when you reading Paleo Hebrew, they might have the Ka looking in this format. But I've also seen myself, I've seen it with the different diagrams of the Paleo. It'll be in this format, And so these are two different forms of the Ka and the Paleo, all right, that you might come across, right? Now, with the Ka in the Assyrian, all right, now in the Assyrian, certain letters, all right, they're different if they're depending on where they're located in the word. So this is the Ka, this is the regular Ka for the Assyrian. Now you also have this right here, which you will call the final Ka. So if this is at the end of a word, then it's not going to look like this. It's going to look like this. So this is the format for Ka at the end of a word. All right. Now you also have La, as the brother elaborated, La going into Lamad. All right. So if I may, Shalaki, the Ka goes into palm of hand. It means palm of hand. All right, and it's Kop. You see? So Kop. Also the Yad, meaning hand or arm, is Yad. All right. Now with the Lamad, all right, Lamad meaning support. Okay. Or also, Lamad meaning staff or to learn. So as you can see, this symbol it reflects the symbol of a staff. Like if somebody needed something to lean on, all right, a staff, a support, you have that symbol La. That's where it gets its origin from.
Con, and if I can say too, now if you take these characters that the brother just beautifully broke down, like for example, you have Yah, okay? You can correlate that with the name also, okay? Both of these are the same symbols, right? As you can see right here is Yahweh, okay? Right here is Yah. You can kind of, connect it to build words, all right? But this is the heavenly, the heavenly Father. So you got Yah right here. Like the brother says, it's two different formats, all right? You have Ka. Well, you bring that over here. Boom, there it is right there, okay? You see Ka. It's like a Ka. Yeah, not Ka, all right? Ka, all right? So it's call. They're a little familiar also. The brother just beautifully broke that down, all right? The La, okay? It's right here, okay? So you got Ka, La, and so here go another La right here, La. Do you have Yah, okay? Just to kind of, pinpoint where words come from, right? When we say them,
right?
So
and further elaborate what the brother left off. Now with the Ka and this La, all right. Now since this is in a word, you're not going to say Ka La.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to say Kal because the La is at the end of the word. Mm-hmm. All right. So it's not going to be a Ka La. It's going to be Kal. This is going to be Halal. All right, which means praise. All right,
Con. And I know the first part of the video. I know the brother had the connections. Mm-hmm. All right. I just did that, word for word.
Right.
But the brother, right, it would be called then halal, because you wouldn't be saying halala. All right,
Right.
you'll be saying halal, and then Yahweh, Wa, Yahusha. Okay,
Right.
but we can get back into this.
Okay, kind. So yep, and we're finishing up on Lamad. All right, Lamad, which means yep. All right, staff to learn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So continue on. All right, and that's the La in the in the Assyrian text. All right. Now continuing on to our next set of letters, you have in the Paleo you have Ma. All right. Now Ma comes from what? It comes from Mayam, which means sea or water, and you can see this looks kind of like a wave. These lines they look like waves. All right, and that's where you get Ma because it's meaning water or sea. All right, so that's the Paleo essence of it, and you also have it in the Assyrian. Now going back, the water. Yeah, so going back into the Assyrian, all right. Now, like I said, certain letters, all right, certain letters have certain letters, all right, depending on where the letter is located in the word, is going to have a different format. So that's the case for Ma. All right, Ma. This is the typical Assyrian format for Ma. You also have a final Ma. So this, if Ma is at the end of a word, all right, it'll be in this form. All right. So even I don't want to get too deep. We keep it simple. So,
Yeah.
So going to Na.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Na comes from what? It comes from Nan, which means seed or sprout. And I was going to write it, but this represents like a sperm seed, like a sperm. All right. Now in earlier, because this paleo that we're showing you, there is actually certain more pictographic type symbols that actually predate this. This is just the Paleo Hebrew that was used when we had our empire, dealing with Abraham, going down to David. With David and Solomon and those time periods, this is the type of Paleo, or this type of Hebrew that we dealt with. But it's also when people talk about Phoenician or like Proto-Phoenician or whatever, you have you actually have other symbols that actually predate these that look more like the image in which it's supposed to depict. So this comes from seed or sprout, all right? Now you have earlier images of this where actually, if you've ever seen the image of a sperm cell or a sperm, it actually looks. When they drew it, it looked just like that. They had a head and it had a squiggly tail,
Mm-hmm.
So also certain texts that you'll see in Hebrew with the water for Ma, there instead of having this, it'll just be a bunch of lines which represents like waves, So and you'll get familiar with that, touching up and dealing with different sources and seeing different, pieces of archaeology.
Because what the brother was beautifully explaining, most of these characteristics came from inspiration. All right, all this type of origin, like the brother was going into, and let's just say if you was a painter or you like to draw, all right, just using your imagination, you draw waves, all right, mayam, waters, just like when a kid draw like a beach or a house with a beach, but they start with squiggly lines. I'm gonna do it on camera. Basically, a bunch of W's put together. Okay, that symbolizes the waves, which is water. Okay, and how do you remember this? Ma, they look similar. Ma has an extra B, so to speak. Okay, but just like this, it has an extra wave or V, whatever you want to call it, the best to help you out. But it has an extra symbol.
Just an extra little squiggle, extra little squiggle.
Okay.
So yeah, like the brother was saying, you got the Ma, Na, And next we have Sa.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this Sa, which Sa comes from Samat, which means support. All right. Now the origin of that is as if you have, like, for instance, you have a military banner in the ancient world. This a flag in the ancient world wasn't the same as like an American flag that you see today. It will be a staff or a stick in the middle of the flag, and then it'll be the flag hanging on the front of that stick. So that way, when they march with it, it can, like, the whole image could be seen. So that's where that samat comes from. Essentially, like a staff supporting a flag or a banner. All right. So going into support. All right. So that's support, and this is the this is the Assyrian form of it, and this is the Assyrian form of it. All right, and we also have I. All right, so we have I right here. So obviously you kind of can get the picture. I coming from ayan, which means eye, like the eyeball, and so it's simply a circle. You know, in some images you'll see where it'll be a circle and a dot in the middle. You know, which is ayan, all right, which means eye. All right, and you also have this is the Assyrian form of it. All right, meaning eye. You know.
And basically, man, brother did a good job. Okay, you know, iron sharpeneth iron. Okay, we all grow as we continue. But yeah, that was your pie, a beautiful breakdown of the part 2 video. So we're just gonna do this, go through it one more time. Right here you have ta, okay. Then you have ya, all right. Then you have ka. Then you have la, all right. You have ma, na, all right, sa, then I. So that right there is the part 2 video. You know, Lord willing, it was edified to you, brothers and sisters out there that sincerely believe. And any last remarks?
Yep. Lord willing, was edifying.
Yeah,
but the thing is with Hebrew and like learning anything, you know, you want to be trying to make sure they can see the characters.
Yeah,
there we go. But anything you want to be repetitious. You know, you want to be consistent and repetitious. You know, everybody has that certain measure and lot in their talents and their gifts. But in order to be successful in anything, you want to have some form of repetition. You know, don't just watch the video, actually write the characters down. All right? That's going to, you know, help you and mold you if you're trying to, you know, better yourself in Hebrew or Greek or whatever you want to do. You know, but you have to, you know, put a little labor in yourself as well, you know. Now, even the apostles and elders, they tell us, like, you know, don't just take our word for it. You know, go look it up. You know, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. So, you know, we have certain resources to increase our knowledge, but we also have to, you know, exercise our own willpower to, you know, ultimately be the best we can be. All right, so
you have brothers that create different websites, different formats. You can get into all different type of languages. It's out there. You know, you just gotta dig deep, and always, because the point of us doing these breakdowns too is just going back to the basics. Okay, it's very important to go back to the basics, and we all need the basics. You know, the basis is the foundation. Okay, without a foundation, what are you? Without our feet and our legs, can we walk? You know, that's the foundation. You know, the bottom. You know, so to speak, speaking metaphorically, but there's also, you know, truth to the spirit,
the root.
Yeah. But with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying. We're gonna close out, give our honor and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Give a double honor to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Once again, and peace, love, salutations to Jehovah. Let's be pushing the truth. Shalom.
Shalom.